Okay, a grade 10 class is raising money for the school building project in Uganda to buy 35 desks and 3 chalkboard. The students need to raise $2,082. To buy 40 desks and 2 chalkboards, they need to raise $2,238. Determine the cost of the desk and the cost of the chalkboard. So, if I were to create my let statement, let D and C. D for desk, C for chalkboard. But if I were to actually define it, what does D represent? Yep. Cost of the desk. Not number of desks, but cost of desks. When you get into grade 11, if you just write D represent desk, C represents chalkboard, it's not going to give you a mark. Just like up here, this was number of buses, and this is cost of a desk. So you see the difference between them? Chalkboard. Okay. So then let's build our 2 equations. The first one, it will simply be 35D plus 3C equals 2082. And your second equation would be the second scenario, 40D plus 2C equal to 2238. Okay. So remember, we have 3 choices. We have graphing, substitution, or elimination. Who says graphing is the easiest way to go? Good. No hands up. Who says substitution is the easiest way to do this? Okay. Who says elimination? Okay, good. Okay, substitution and elimination, both would work. I would tend towards I would say elimination. Me personally, I would, and that's because between the 3 and the 2, it's nice and easy to multiply to get the 6 as the common multiple. So that means I'm going to multiply this whole equation by 2. I'm going to multiply this whole equation by 3 to get that 6. So this becomes 70D plus 6C equals 4,164. Woohoo. Okay, and then this is going to be 120D, so times it by 3, times this by 3, and then this by 3, 6714. Is it 6714? Whoa, I'm so good today. And it's a Friday morning too. So, okay. So, after you have this, you can see the 6C and the 6C. I can eliminate them by subtracting. So if I subtract these 2 equations, that's gone. 70D minus 120, I get negative 50D. And then 4164 subtract 6714, you get negative 2550. Divide that, so D equals, 51. 51 what? What's my unit? Dollars, that's right. Okay. If I get a negative number, you know you probably did something wrong. Okay, so make sure after you do the question, see if the answer makes sense. So now I can substitute this into either equation. Let's just substitute it in one. So D equals 51 into equation 1. So 35 times 51 plus 3C equals 2082. 35 times 51, that's 1785. Okay, so subtract that on the other side. 297. So when you divide it, you get $99 for a chalkboard. Okay. If you get a really weird number, like let's say you got $9, you know that's pretty low for a price of a chalkboard. So make sure that it makes sense, and therefore a desk costs $51 and a chalkboard costs $99. Okay, how many of you got this correct? Good. Okay, for those who did their homework. At least this question. Did I make a mistake? But the other people said I did it right.
Oh, is it 4,000 minus?
Yeah, and then I got the negative. And then when I divide the negative with the negative, I got that positive number. Okay. I got scared when Jumon questioned my answer. Okay, so next one, this one, on chapter 2 and 3, classify this. So let's plot it first since I'm given the grid. -5, 2, that's J. -1 and 3, that's K. -2, -1, that's L. And then -6, -2, that's M. Okay, so connect them. There's 4 points, so you should have a quadrilateral, not a triangle. Okay, looking at this, what does it look like? What shape does this look like? Elizabeth? Parallelogram. So we want to try to prove that this is a parallelogram. Could it also be a rhombus? Okay, what's the difference between a parallelogram and a rhombus?
Parallelogram, it doesn't have to have 4 sides to be the same length.
Right, equal side lengths. Okay, so that's what we want to check as well. So whether this is a parallelogram or a rhombus, so let's do that first. Okay, distance formula. Okay, x2 minus x1 square plus y2 minus y1 square. Since we have four pairs, let's do JK. So these subscripts would help you distinguish the 4 sides and also help me see which sides you are referring to. Okay, so x2, so -1 minus -5 square, and then 3 minus 2 square. I'll just do an example of one of these. So -1 plus 5 is 4. 4 square is 16. 1 square is 1. So therefore, the length of JK is 17. Okay. If I just do one more, if I just do KL and also prove that the slopes are the same, is that enough to prove that all 4 sides are equal? No. Okay, so I would have to do at least 3 sides. Right? Right? What do you guys think? Yeah?
Maybe just 2 adjacent.
Okay, but if I just do these 2, is it enough to prove that all 4 sides are equal? Yeah.
Is there any way that you can have those 2 equal?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like if they are parallel, can one be Yes, we can't.
Then those two aren't parallel.
Yeah, so therefore I could do just two sides, these two sides, and then prove that they are parallel. Yeah. Or vice versa. I could do all four side lengths and then just do two slopes. Right? No, I have to do all four. I have to do all four slopes because then I could also have like this. The side legs would still be the same, but then they're not parallel. So a trapezoid. Can I have a trapezoid?
Yeah, that would be a square. You could do base square around this, but then you have to check slope to make sure that you don't rhombus.
Yeah.
You get all four sides.
Because I'm thinking if I'm trying to minimize the number of proof that we have to do. So I'm thinking if it's a trapezoid, then this side length can still be the same as this side length. But then these two are not the same side length. So I do need to do two pairs of parallel sides. I do need to prove that. Right? Because otherwise it's not enough. All right. So I need to do this, and I also need to do KL. Okay. So if I do the same, I should get root 17 as well. When I plug in the coordinates of K and L, subtract it, I should get that. Okay. And then next thing is I have to do the slopes. Slope of JK. Y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Y2, 3 minus 2 over -1 minus -5. So I get 1 over 4. Okay. This should give you the same slope as ML. Right? And then, as we were saying, we do have to do these two as well. So in total, we have to do 4 slopes. Slope of KL, K and L, so -1 minus 3 over -2 minus -1. So I get -4 over -1, which gives me a slope of 4. Okay. And this should give me the same slope as JM. Okay. Are these negative reciprocal slopes? Are these negative reciprocal slopes? No, they're reciprocal but not negative reciprocal. So that's why when you look at this, it's not a 90 degree. If it was negative reciprocal, it would mean that the angles are 90. Okay, so don't get tricked. Okay, so therefore, since there are two sets of parallel slopes and two equal lengths, this implies the shape is a rhombus. All right. On the test, if you're not sure, you could do all 4 side lengths. Like doing more won't hurt you. I just try to save time on an exam, so that if I can prove that 2 sets of parallel sides, then I don't have to do all 4. I could just do 2, and that would be enough to prove that it's a rhombus.
How did you prove like all four sides?
Distance. So I did the distance of JK, I did the distance of KL.
How do you know that the other?
Because it's two parallel sides. So if it,
You first like found that they're parallel.
yeah. So technically, I should have did this part first and then do this part. Yeah. But because they are parallel, then it implies that all four sides are equal length. Okay. But again, if you don't make that implication, just prove that all four sides are equal on the exam. It will take you an extra 5 minutes. Okay. What is the radius of a circle that goes through that and its center around 0, 0? All right. So what's the formula for a circle again? Yep.
X squared is equal to x squared plus y squared.
Yep. Okay. So this is at center 0, 0. Okay. So for this one, I need to figure out what r is. So sub in -8, sub in -6, and that would give you your r squared. So 64 plus 36. So that means r squared is 100. Okay. So my equation, x squared plus y squared equals 100. Okay. You do not need to square root that r because in the equation you write the square answer. So if you put 10 and then you square it, you'll get that 100 anyway. Okay. So when you write your equation, make sure it's x squared plus y squared equals 100, not 10. Let's just do one where it's not centered at 0, 0. So let's just say center at okay, so let's say part B. Let me change the question. It has a radius of 5 and center is at -2, 3. Okay. What would my equation be? X plus 2 squared plus y minus 3 squared equal what? Yeah. 25. Good. Okay. So remember, if it's not at center 0, 0, you need the brackets for your x and y. And then your r is
Just checking.
okay.
It's nice and warm in here?
I know, yeah, very warm. Can we adjust that?
No, I have to change the valve. It's set at 60, but it's 80 degrees in here.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, so the thermostat doesn't work. Okay. Any question on the circle? You're definitely going to see a circle question on the exam, so it would be either like this one or this one. Yeah. Oh, because the general equation, you have to square it back anyway.
But the question asks for the radius.
Oh, what is the radius of the circle? Oh, why did I do that? Okay. Yeah, so then the radius is 10. Yeah, sorry. I didn't read the question. Radius equals 10 centimeters, for example.
Wait, is it in centimeters?
I didn't say. I just put in the unit because I want you guys to remember it's a length. Okay. Yeah, so thank you, Ryan. Make sure you read the question on the exam. Okay. Next, using triangle. So let's plot those points first. 4, 5, 4, 5. This is F. negative 3 and 2. This is G. And 5, negative 2. That's H. Okay, since there's 4 points, you know that we're looking at a triangle. Okay, determine the equation of the altitude from G. Okay, so you actually have to do all 3. Okay, so altitude from G. Okay. How do you do altitude? Yeah.
Isn't altitude just like perpendicular to the opposite side? And
Yes.
The opposite vertex.
Yeah. There's a okay. There's a typo here. That doesn't make sense. You cannot have an altitude from vertex G because your altitude doesn't have to go through vertex G.
Altitude goes from one vertex down.
That's median.
No, I'm pretty sure altitude.
Median from midpoint.
Oh, yeah. Okay, thank you. I love class discussions. Okay, so it is 90 degrees to that. So I know I'm just cheating with my protractor because I want to draw it accurately. So just to show you guys. Oh, it's actually about like right here. Okay, so this is my altitude. Okay, so you can see it's perpendicular with FH and goes through the point G. Okay, so let's do the first part, altitude. Okay, so I'm in any equations I need the slope and a point. So I need to find the slope of this line. Now I cannot just do the slope formula because I don't know what this point is. So the fact that I know this is a perpendicular perpendicular slope, I can find FH. So let's find the slope of FH. FH, so negative 2 minus 5 over 5 minus 4. So you get negative 7 over 1. Okay. So now I can use that to find my perpendicular slope. I can find the slope of that red line. What is the slope of that red line? What's the slope of this line? The red line? Yep. 1 over 7, negative reciprocal. Okay. Yeah.
Like on exam or test, like, can you see, let's say the line goes through, obviously goes through a cross, and you assume that's the point the line goes through?
Unless it's a horizontal line, but this one, it's you can't tell that the slope is 1 over 7 unless it might not be. It could have been 1 over 10th or something like that, right? So it's hard to eyeball by just looking at the graph, unless it's a horizontal line that you can see clearly. Okay, so substitute these value into y equals mx plus b. So y is 2, m is 1 over 7, x is negative 3 plus b. So 2 equals negative 3 over 7 plus b. Move that over. So 2 plus 3 over 7. So we could just say 2 3/7 if we want. Right? So therefore, the equations of an altitude, y equal, the slope of this red line was 1 over 7. And the y-intercept of this line is 2 3/7. All right.
Yeah, I can't like to find the y-intercept. You just sub in g's y and
G for x and y, and then this 1/7 as the m, and then you solve for. Okay. Next part, perpendicular bisector from FG. Perpendicular bisector. Okay, so what do I need to find first in a perpendicular bisector? Yep. Midpoint. So midpoint of this. Again, I'm just gonna cheat with the ruler just so that I can draw an accurate graph for you guys. 1 point. I need a ruler that has actually where I can actually see the numbers. What kind of numbers are these? 3.5, so 1.75. Well, like right here. Right, that's the midpoint. And I'm drawing a perpendicular line. On the exam, you don't need a protractor. I'm just using it to draw a nice diagram for you guys. Okay, and this like that. Okay. Remember, your perpendicular bisector can go out of your triangle. Okay, so number 2, perpendicular bisector. Remember, perpendicular bisector, right bisector means the same thing. Okay, so first thing, find the midpoint between G and F. Midpoint between G and F. X1 plus x2 divided by 2. Y1 plus y2 divided by 2. So this is 1/2, and this is 7 over 2. Okay, and it looks right. So 0.5 and 3.5. Yep. Right, looks good. Now, next thing, I want to find the slope of GF so that I can find the perpendicular slope. So slope of GF y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So -3 over -7. 2 negatives make a positive, so this is 3 over 7. I need the perpendicular slope. So negative reciprocal, -7 over 3. Okay. Now I do the same thing. I do y equals mx plus b. But this time I'm going to use the midpoint and the black slope. Because those are the only two that I know that's on the black line. So 7 over 2 equal -7 over 3, 1 over 2 plus b. Who chose these numbers? 7 over 2. When you move this over, you get plus 7 over 6. So common denominator is 6. So 7 times 3, 21 plus 7. So you get 28 over 6 equals b. Reduce that. 28. So 14 over 3. After you reduce it. So the equation Oh, you can open the window if you're hot. I feel hot too. So y equal negative 7 over 3x plus 14 over 3. Okay, that's the equation of your perpendicular bisector. And to check, you have this diagram right here. So negative 7 over 3 slope. Yeah, it looks about right. Negative slope. Y-intercept of 14 over 3. 14 divided by 3 is about 4.6. So if I extend this line, it does look like it's going to go through 4.6. Okay, so I'm pretty confident in my equation of the line because the slope and the y-intercept matches up. All right, and then last one. Okay, last one, median from H. What color did I use? Okay. 3. Median. Okay, median from H. Okay, so it's from H to the opposite side midpoint. So this right here. This blue line right here, that's my median. So my work is cut down for me because I already found the midpoint. Now I need to find the slope of this blue line right here. Well, I know M, I know H, I can find that slope. So I'm looking for the slope between M and H. M was this, H was this. Ooh, ugly numbers. Okay, so y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay. So this is plus 2, 5.5. Should I show you guys the full fraction method or the shortcut method? Shortcut? Alright, shortcut. I know I'm gonna get a 0.5 from both of these. So I'm just gonna do decimal and then I'm gonna get a nice number. 0.5 minus 5, negative 4.5. So when I divide it, 5.5 divided by negative 4.5. Oops. Oh, I can double them. I can double it. So 11 over negative 9. Okay. Did you see how I cheated with the okay? I did the decimal, and then because both of them are 0.5, that means I just have to double both numbers so that I get that 11 over negative 9. Okay.
This is such an illegal thing.
I think Ryan is going to ask me, can we do this on the exam? Sure.
Not even this, like, you know, when it comes to the exam, the final answer.
Decimal fraction.
Fractions. Fractions.
Maybe you could write that like not as a step, but as like a slide.
Yeah, so like technically, you know, if you wrote this and then don't show this and just come up with this, I won't know that you cheated with this method. Right? So as long as like your answer at the end is a fraction, it's good. Okay, so I have the slope. I can use either M or H. I'm going to choose H because it's a whole number and not a fraction like M. So I'm going to use this slope and point H, which was 5, negative 2. Sub it into y equals mx plus b to solve for b. So negative 2 equal 11 over negative 9, 5 plus b. So I get negative 2 plus 55 over 9. Right? I multiply, I get 55 over 9. I moved it over to the other side. That's why it became plus. So negative to, oh, why is my calculator not turning on? Okay. Okay, so -2 times 9 plus 55. So I get 37 over 9. Alright, and so therefore my equation for the median y equal -11 over 9x plus 37 over 9. And just to check to make sure that I do have the right answer, -11 over 9, a negative slope. Okay, yep. And my y-intercept, 37 over 9 is about 4.1. So if I were to extend this blue line, it does look like it's going to go through 4.1. So I'm pretty confident in my 3 answer because all 3 matches with my graph. It looks really ugly. The numbers look really ugly, but it works. Okay. So I'm thinking on the exam, it's not going to be so ugly. The numbers is probably going to be a lot nicer because a question like this just took up 20 minutes of your exam time. Okay. Yeah. Did I make the exam? All the grade 10 teachers made it.
So like they all made a question from.
No, we sat down together and made the whole exam. It was like a long time. Yeah. Okay. From what I remember, I don't remember seeing a question so long on the exam. Okay. This question took long because of the fractions. Other than that, if it wasn't fraction, it would have taken you a lot faster. Okay. Okay. So you guys have about 25 minutes left. I don't think you guys got to this page, so do this. And this page. And this. Okay, so I'm going to do a second homework check on Monday. Alright, because I don't want only 2 people to have done this. Alright. I could just take all this up, but I think it's better if you guys try it first because you guys learn so much more, remember it so much better by doing it yourself than to watch me do it. Okay, so try this out. Make sure the whole package is done by Monday. I'm gonna do a second homework check, and then we'll take it all up on Monday. For those of you who, actually not for those of you, for the 2 of you, for the 2 of you who have already done this whole package, good for you. You can get a head start on Monday's homework. So if you go to content, and then course review, okay, you can see I have a whole bunch right here. So let's see. This is okay. So this is the 20-page review that I was talking about. Right, so if you just go to content course review, you can get started on this 20-pager. Okay. Let's see. This is the one that we are working on right now. These are some more textbook questions, and then these are the textbook answers. Okay, so actually, you know what? Let me ask you guys. Do you guys rather do this, like as the next thing? Do you guys want to do the textbook review questions, or do you want to do the 20-page review questions? The 20-page has a lot of questions. Like you can see, factoring has like so many. And I would say this one is harder than the actual exam.
Oh,
Let's do that one then.
we should do that one then. Why
Yeah.
don't we choose anything else?
And then
I have a division paper.
this one is the textbook one, which is in line with the curriculum.
Yeah,
Sure.
20 pages.
The 20 pages. Okay. All right. So for the Kyle and Juman, you guys can get a head start on this one, the course review one. Okay. So we will attempt to finish every single questions in here in the next 1.5 weeks. Okay. For the rest of the class, make sure you finish this package. Homework check again on Monday. Okay, so 25 minutes now to get a head start. Go, go, go.